Okay, what's up, guys? This is Marc Augustine here, and in this video, Sammy is going to introduce us to a new feature where it helps with increasing the SEO in your eBay titles. So, like the video, subscribe to the channel. This video is brought to you by the Dropship Masterclass. What the Dropship Masterclass is a full eBay dropshipping course brought to you by eCom Sniper, myself, and Sammy. Look in the description and use the coupon code FIRST100 and get 50% off. With the course, you get a full month of the eCom Sniper software, which will do 95% of the work in managing your eBay dropshipping business and generating sales for eBay dropshipping. So, Sammy, let's get into the video.
Okay. So I guess the first thing is let's go ahead and give an update on the account, because I think that's like the most pressing thing. You can see the last 90 days, 21,000. Last month we did around 8,855. This number will increase the next month. The reason being is because, once again, we didn't list any items onto this account. We've been focusing on like the other accounts at the moment. But the next step for this account is to introduce the tracker, and we'll try to introduce it in the next video. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. We'll talk about it. Okay, and then what we'll do is we're gonna run the relister for you guys. We'll start it live on camera, and then you guys will see for yourself the power of relisting. But those are gonna be in the next two videos. So just an update on the profits so far up till today is in the last just where we finished up the third month, and you can see that we finished up with $7,124 in profit, and this is with one account. We made a video last time around how to make 5 eBay accounts. That's the number you guys should be striving for. That's how you go ahead and create a real income. One account is just pocket change. Okay, so Mark, like what I'm gonna be introducing to you is one of our new features, and the new feature is gonna go ahead and improve like the visibility of your items onto the eBay, Cassini search results. And so I'm gonna show you how it works, yeah? So as always, do you mind picking the product so that we can keep it authentic?
We did.
Tough one.
What's that?
This is always the tough part, yeah?
Yeah, have we done microwave? Have we done?
Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Okay, so let's go ahead and just pick, like, we're not gonna list the item, we're just gonna be just to showcase it. So let's pick something that, a microwave that nobody has heard of. Because you don't want to be drop shipping like popular products, because that's like the #1 way of getting like an MC011. So I don't know if RCA is a popular one. Maybe it is.
RCA is a popular one.
Got it. All right. So let me see. Do you want to pick something more obscure? Maybe this one right here, bacon grill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this will help showcase like the software even better, if anything. So we have this new feature where it's called SEO title. We have two new features actually. The first one is, what it does is it actually goes ahead and adds the main benefit of the item inside of the picture. So that's the first update that we have, right? This is not directly the SEO, but it should help with conversions, because let's say somebody is looking for a bacon grill. Right, I'm a Muslim, so I don't eat bacon, right? But so this is maybe not the best example for me, because I don't know anything about bacon. So, and nevertheless, if somebody's going ahead and looking for a bacon grill, right? If you go ahead and put the text "effortless bacon bliss," this is all generated by AI. It goes ahead and really like speaks. It should be speaking to the customer. I don't eat bacon, once again, so I don't know if this wording is like effective for this specific product, but we're letting the AI go ahead and do all of the work for generating text. So what do you give me your thoughts on this, yeah? Before we continue to the SEO part.
I mean, it adds an element to it. I don't know. We don't know. I usually make a decision based on data, so we'll have to test it.
Right, and you know what the data says? The data says that the most important point of conversion, right, is your images, right? Most buyers won't even read the title. So what's ended up happening is what we need to do with an image is effectively they need to open it up, and that image should reinforce all of the thoughts that they had prior to searching for that
Right,
item.
right. I get that. I get that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that we don't know it's not based on like data on eBay or something. You know, that's what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying. We're gonna find out that like after we go ahead and implement it. I actually did implement it at one time, but again, like I don't have the data to back up the the effect of it, because it's hard to measure these kind of changes when you don't have like a control account that doesn't have that, and then a control account with the same exact listing with it. Do you get what I mean?
Right. So what made you come up? What made you add this to the image? What was the decision to add this element to the image?
Great question, man.
Why do you think there'll be a benefit to it? That's what I'm
I'll
trying
t-
to get.
I'll tell you why. That's a great question. So let's look at something called iPhone USB cord, right? All of like the top listings on eBay, right, have a whole bunch of text on it. Like usually they do, like everything that's at the top,
Right,
USA
right,
stock, fast delivery, and then what happens is you can see that a lot of the top listings, they go ahead and they like put in a whole bunch of text because they understand that the buyer, right, doesn't read, the titles. So what they ended up doing was they tried to go ahead and like put as much information as they can
right.
inside the picture.
In the image.
Right, exactly. And this is what eBay said, right? eBay said that you have 7 seconds to captivate the buyer before they scroll to the next item, right?
Right, right.
And if you don't, captivate the buyer in that time, what's going to end up happening is like they're going to go ahead to the next one. So what we need to do effectively is if we just went ahead and posted like an iPhone cable, right, that everybody else has, like just the standard white one, we're not going to stand out at all, right? And if we do, they're going to move on to another one. So the reason why I went ahead and put in that text that was generated by the AI, the main benefit is because we
It's
know
just
that
to add an element of text to the image.
not only that, right? But we didn't put any text. It wasn't like free shipping or whatever, right?
Right.
The unique aspect of this is, by the way, your microphone is breaking up. Maybe you want to pause the video and like kind of fix that. So then,
Okay, one second. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So the idea is to just put more information or more
yes.
actionable information in the image.
Right, exactly. It's just basically like, let's say somebody is searching for I don't know, let's say they're searching up for gift for mom, right? And if inside the picture, right, it goes ahead and has like some text that says that, you know what, your mom will love it, right? It reinforces that idea that, hey, I'm doing the right decision by making that purchase, right? So what we're trying to do is we're trying to guess what your ideal client avatar is desperately searching for, what their main problem is, and we're trying to solve that. So we'll look at some, before we move on, let's go ahead and look at one or two more examples, and then we can kind of like go from there. So we looked at iPhone cable, right? iPhone USB. Let's go ahead and look for iPhone USB on Amazon, and maybe we can go ahead and find that. So iPhone USB cable, and let's go see what the AI is gonna do for us. So this is a 4 pack. What it's doing is it's not telling the features, it's telling the main benefit. So to really like upsell it, and remember, the reason why we must upsell it is because we're listing the items for like almost 100% markup right over here. Swift, Swift power charging. So let's go ahead and I'm just gonna go ahead and put this in comparison with a couple of other ones. Let me go ahead and change this one. This is gonna be like a little bit of HTML magic. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna try to do it as quickly as possible. All right, there we go. So now we can see that if our item is showing up with all of their ones, right? If they just see that our picture, that's all it is, right? Remember, they're not looking at anything else. They're not gonna read the titles at all. Do you get what I mean?
Right, 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 right.
So if you're scrolling down and all of a sudden this one says Swift power charging,
Yeah,
right?
it would add an element of it would add an
Like,
added value. I get it, I get it, I get it.
yeah, exactly, exactly. So we're really trying to figure out what their pain point is, right? Like they're looking for a fast charger, and we're letting them know that hey, this is fast. So it's not just like looking at the image, but we're reinforcing what their pain
Yeah,
point is. Like
why they'll buy the item, correct.
exactly, exactly. So that is what we're doing right over here, and then
And
so
that is with
here,
every single listing or only with the every
great
single
question.
listing. Go ahead.
Exactly. Here you go. This is the template. So literally, like it just says main benefit over here, and the AI goes ahead and draws up the main benefit
Okay,
and puts
okay,
it into this
okay.
placeholder. So you can customize it. You can put in whatever text that you want, and
So guys,
like
those of you watching this, you guys are getting this the same time I'm getting this. This is a new feature to eCom Sniper that adds a element to the images. So check out that. That's another reason for you to jump on the ecom Sniper.
yeah, yeah.
And I
So like
hope you guys
literally,
who are members of ecom Sniper will comment and let us know what you think about it.
yeah. Everybody who's not using it, use it. Don't use my template. Make your own. Figure out different colors, like whatever the case, right? Like we have like this collager tool has new features, create a bestseller ribbon. You can do a whole bunch. You can go ahead and move these things around. You know what? Let me go ahead and show you like a nice design that I like. Um, just for just for this demonstration. Oh, you know what? Before I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and save this template because I like it. But I'm gonna show you guys how you can make your own like nice template. So this is another style that I like. Again, I don't want you guys copying this. So I'm gonna go ahead and make this transparent. And then let's go ahead and save it. And then you can see that let's go ahead and open this up and I'll show you this is how fast it is to create your own collage designs. So I saved this. I believe I saved it. Did I press save? Yeah, I think so. Okay, so let's let the AI go ahead and generate the main benefit. And then here we go. So now we have a new design right off the bat. But you can see the last image fades in the background and the main image stays in place.
Okay, okay, okay.
You know what I mean? Like you have infinite creativity here. This is cool, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, all of my accounts have a different template. Like whoever's using the default, like guys, you are missing out on having the create. If you have like 5 accounts, you should go ahead and make your like collages as unique as possible. You know, we're adding new features for the collager. The reason why is I actually spoke to an expert recently about eBay SEO. And after the SEO, like he went ahead and said the number one thing, the most important thing after your title, the title is just to get shown. The second most important thing is literally your images. That will literally break or make you. If somebody is not attracted to your image, they're not gonna come and buy from you again, or they're not gonna pick you out of the sea of competition. So just we just have so much competition going on. So once again, the feature of that main benefit, and this is a collager tool that nobody else has, right? What it's doing is it's reinforcing, right, the understanding that this product is the product that your shopper is looking for, right? It's solving their pain point and it's letting them know quickly inside of the text on the picture because buyers are not looking at anything else. They're just looking at the picture. So having that text to let them know that, hey, you know what, this is exactly what you need it for. The main benefit of it, it should go ahead and increase conversions. So, Mark, everything clear on this aspect?
Yes, yes, it is.
Okay, give me your thoughts. Do you agree with this or disagree? Let me hear your.
I mean, there's
Let me-
nothing to disagree on. It's an added value to the image. We just have to look at the actual data to see how much it increases sales.
You wouldn't be able to see that though. it's too variable unless you have like a control. Do you know what I mean? For this, like I think the only way to really understand it would be like we can see that the top guys, all of them, right? They put fast charging right over here.
Right, but we could generally see we have data on the past 3 or 4 months on listing and how many listings.
No, again, it wouldn't be controlled. You know what I mean? You're a data guy,
I
right?
I understand what you're saying, but I'm just for it is all I'm saying. It is an added value, and if it is added in the software, that we should have some sort of indication that the value is added, so it's not just a waste of time.
Right, but how would you go ahead and measure that? Right? Like there is in my opinion, like even if we listed a whole bunch of items, right? The sales could be from like so many variables, like maybe they're just better items, maybe the titles are being better.
Right,
You
but
know what I
okay, let's just say we could look at the difference in the actual conversions on eBay compared to how much was listed this year compared to you.
No, like
No,
again, like it's
listen.
not.
All I'm
Okay, go
saying
ahead.
is when you're doing an action, if you don't have an indication that there's an advantage, it's a waste of time doing it because you have no confirmation that it works. So you generally, if you're adding something to the software, you want to look at some sort of increase, some sort of KPI that increase compared to previous data.
No, I get it. I get it. I get it.
So
So
you asked me what I think about it. I'm
mhm.
saying it is an added benefit, but the only way we could confirm that is if we look for some sort of increase in conversions, increase in sales compared to previous listings. That's all.
No, I get it. I get it. And I would say the proof, right, regarding the conversions, right? We wouldn't be able to get that kind of data by ourselves, right? That data would have to come
One second, one
from
second, one second, one second.
okay,
Yes, guys,
so
go ahead.
yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead. You go ahead.
No,
I feel like
where did we
I feel
leave?
like I feel like once you pause the video, like they don't notice because it's so instant.
Right, right. I know, but where did we have to catch back
So
up? Where did we leave off?
right. So basically what I'm trying to do is just one more time like try to explain my reasoning behind it. So
Mhm,
I actually went ahead and like employed ChatGPT to go ahead and like I asked it an objective question, right? I asked it, would adding the main benefit on an image on eBay increase conversion rate? And here is they told me a few reasons why, and I also asked it to give me reasons why I shouldn't, right?
mhm.
So because in this specific context, like because we're not gonna be able to get a control, right? There's too many variables to be able to like specifically get a like a proper A/B and test unless you post the same exact item at the same exact time.
Right,
You know
right,
what I
right.
mean? Like that, although there's no question that we wouldn't be able to do like a proper like test. So that means like the only way to really validate this, in my opinion, would be if the top sellers on eBay are doing it, which I confirm that they're not. Not everybody is doing it. Like for example,
No, but wait,
like
wait, wait, wait. But what I'm saying is, would the conversions, wouldn't the rate, all the rates that are
no,
recorded,
I know what you're
listen to what I'm
saying. You're
saying. All the
you're
rates
basic.
recorded by eBay, meaning the views that we get compared to the conversions and sales that we get.
No, it wouldn't because again, how would you measure that if you're not listing the same exact product and comparing it with the same exact product without it? Because remember, when we're working with the eBay algorithm, the time you list the item has like a significant impact.
Right, I get that, I get that, I
You know
get
what
it.
I
But I'm
mean?
saying right, but I'm saying that if it's a benefit, we should be able to see some sort of increase in sales.
No, not necessarily because once again, right, there's so many other like especially with our platform, every time you click the AI titles, it gives you a brand new title that hasn't been used on eBay before. It keeps giving you brand new different ones, right? So the only true test would be if you literally posted the same exact item at the same exact time with the same exact title. The only difference would be that difference in those images, right? And you know what I mean? And that kind of test would be way too difficult to see. And the reason why I say this is, once again, is because the yeah. So just to clarify my point, like a true A/B and test for these kind of minute things is like it's so difficult to do on eBay because the eBay algorithm, right? It is still somewhat of a mystery. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So to be able to like um determine like how effective it is would need to be in a very controlled setting. Do you get what I mean? So with like, tell me if that's making sense. Like,
Right.
okay, let me.
Yes. That makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Okay, like if you like, because this is like a discussion in the end of the day. Like, we're allowed to disagree and everything like that, right? Like, you've been doing this a lot longer than me. You know what I mean? So your opinion is like completely valid. Yeah,
Right.
and
But
your numbers
all
guy.
I'm saying is usually when you add a feature, you would want to measure the result. If you understand what I'm saying.
I got you. And okay, so let me put the onus back on you then.
Mhm.
How would you measure this then? The result.
And you will first, okay, so first of all,
Mm-hmm.
I making the decision to add a feature would come from some sort of measurable point, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yes, of course. Like you want to basically be data driven to make decisions. I
Right,
100% agree with you on that.
right. So
And go ahead.
so I think where this feature the beginning of this feature came from an observation on eBay, and that's not really measurable.
No, it didn't actually. So this is something that it stems from the well, continue with what you're saying, and
Okay,
then
well,
I
you
will.
tell me where it came from.
Okay.
Because I
Okay. So
asked what made what I asked that earlier in the video.
got
Because
it.
the users or the viewers
Got it.
would want to understand, okay, there's this added feature, why?
Absolutely. No, it's a great question. It's a great question. So let's go ahead and like I'll tell you where the origins came from. So Kindle book. Let's see if I can find a Kindle book. Um, Kindle edition. Okay, you know what? Let me show you where it came from. So Amazon had a feature where one of their books, well, it said like the Amazon book said look inside. Let me just try to find it for you. See if I can find it right over here. So on all of their images, right, for the Kindle books, Amazon had this text over here. It said
Right.
look inside, right?
Mhm.
And this was a call to action, right? That like told buyers that hey, you got to click on this book. Like start, like exploring into this, right?
Okay.
So and Amazon doesn't make any decisions that is not profitable for them. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Everything is data driven. I 100% believe in them for that. So in their Kindle books, they had this text that says "Look inside," and it's not exactly the same as what we're doing here. But so this was an idea that stemmed like with from like 2020 to 2021, right?
Mhm.
When I was doing the research for copywriting, right? Copywriting is right. The purpose of copy it is like the one definition is to elicit an emotion from a buyer or a shopper to lead them towards an action. That is
Okay.
what copy means, right? Like and all of copywriting itself is a science, right? And by that meaning is that means that copywriting in itself is data driven. Do you get
Right.
what I'm saying? The whole
Right.
science behind eliciting emotion from a buyer, right? That is copy.
Mhm.
So when we look at so when so this is where like the idea originally stemmed up by putting text inside of an image, right? The reason being was it's to go ahead and draw emotion from them, and this emotion that look inside is causing curiosity. Do you get what I mean?
Right.
Look inside means curiosity, right? That's the emotion that it's going ahead and like giving to the shopper. So now when we go, so now that now that we're talking about like the origins, right? The reason why we're putting the main benefit is because originally actually the first image text that we had, right, was actually this text. It was like look inside or click inside, click the image, right? Like to find a gift or whatever. Like we were trying to do some curiosity like that. So so just to bring it back home, just to our pictures over here, let's go ahead and open this up, yeah. So this picture, like this text is coming from the origins of copywriting, right? And copywriting is basically putting text onto like some type of image, like a hero image. Hero images, like the main image that you put inside your website that goes ahead and draws, like has all the information that it has. They design it with all of the text that goes ahead and lets the shopper know what is the main benefit that they're getting, right? It explains it very clearly. And we know that shoppers, right? eBay has said it very explicitly in their eBay Open in 2023, and they repeated in 2024. They said that when shoppers are searching on eBay, they have they're just scrolling nowadays. Their attention span is so minute. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Right. We talked about earlier. No, but wait. When you
Uh-huh.
saying that the origin of it, what was the question? What was the original question?
I'm trying to explain how the origins are coming from copywriting. That's like my explanation here.
Okay.
And the reason I'm trying to back it up by the evidences that eBay provided, and trying to, and also the evidences given by the science of copywriting.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm coupling those two together. So eBay has explicitly said that you have 7 seconds or less to go ahead and capture a buyer's attention. So
Right.
when you're going ahead and a buyer is scrolling through eBay, right? What's gonna end up happening is they're gonna give your listing a maximum of 7 seconds, and perhaps they're not gonna even look at it at all. And then in that 7 seconds, they're gonna look at the picture, right? And they're gonna see, does this does this excite me enough to go ahead and learn more about it? They're not even gonna be reading the title. In that
Right.
7 seconds, their title is irrelevant at this point, right? They're going to click the listing and then they're going to read the title. That is how the buyer's funnel works. So that means in that picture, right, it needs to convey enough information in one look, right? That's going to go ahead and affirm that to the buyer that, hey, I need to learn more about this. I want to learn more, right? So the reason that we put the text comes from the origins of copywriting, which is supposed to elicit emotion from a buyer, from a shopper reading it.
Right. Okay. And
Yeah.
right. So stop right there. So the added thing is this text, right?
Yes.
And you were saying that the click-through rate you cannot look at the click-through rate to see if there was an increase in click-through rate where the text was worth adding.
No. The reason why is because um
Because
it's
you're
too very
adding something, the main thing that thing is adding is to affect the click-through rate. What you're trying to effect in adding this thing to the image, the thing that is rated on eBay to see if your images are doing good or not is click-through rate, right?
right.
So I'm saying that if you have 15,000 listings and the click-through rate is, you should want to be able to see an increase in click-through rate.
I see what you're saying. Like of course that does
Or
make
else
sense if
you
there's a
get,
measurable difference. Yeah.
or else you don't have any sort of confirmation to say, okay, should I leave it or take it down? To see if it was better or not.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I completely understand what you're saying, right? Like, okay, so from your understanding, right? You're saying that if the click-through rate goes up, right? Let's say we changed all the images on our account right now,
Right.
right? And then
What
we
we should be
see,
looking for is the click-through rate to go up.
yeah. No, I see what you're saying, man. I see what you're saying, but again, like you tell me, is that from your like from your background, would that be a measurable, would that be a correct measurement to see if if it was really impacted
I
by
mean,
the
it's the
picture?
only measure there. Like you don't want to make changes to a business and not be able to measure the effect of it,
Sure,
right?
but let's say your click-through rate went up by like give me an arbitrary number that you'd feel comfortable with
I
that you
mean, the
would
click rate, you'll have to have some sort of increase in percent of the click rate. Every click rate is 0.05 or something percent, and you
Mhm.
get it up to 0.06 or 0.07. That has an effect, a trickle down effect on sales.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, dude, but it's like I think what my point being here is like, right, there is so many variables that come into play when a buyer is making the decision, right? Like just the variable itself is buyer to buyer, shopper to shopper. You know what I mean? That in itself is the first
Right, right,
variable.
right. But when you're trying to increase a business, you're looking at the data that we have. Because you can't just a certain level of this business, and you've said it before, is luck, right?
Hmm.
But
Yes.
you can't make um benefits or what's the word I'm looking for? Make your processes better based on luck. You want to do it based on information.
Right. And you know what? My information isn't coming from directly eBay data, but again, it's coming from the science of copywriting.
I
You get
get
what
that.
I
I
mean?
get that. I get that. I get that. I mean, you can
And
apply
that
the science of
itself,
copywriting to anything, but anything
exactly,
with
exactly.
text,
Right. If I
right?
put in like the letters like A, B, C, D, right, would we have an argument? Would that work or not? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but now you're just pulling stuff out of hat. Anyway, go ahead.
No, like no, my point is like this wasn't a random like operation, right? It came from like a science, right? And that science is the copywriting. Do you
Right,
get what I'm saying?
right,
And like the whole point of copy is to elicit emotion, right? And that was like the entire purpose behind behind the text. This one maybe not like the best one, effortless bacon bliss. Maybe I don't know. Maybe somebody is looking for something like that. Or maybe I don't know. But the point being is like regarding the data, right? You're saying that if the click-through rate improved, right, you'd be able to measure it. I disagree. The reason why the reason behind my disagreements is because from my experience on eBay, right, just on a month to month, these numbers they change and they change drastically. Sometimes for no like for reasons that because you're at the mercy of the market, right? So
right. But wait. But part of adding value to the software is to be able to pull from the data to see a change. No?
yes, if you can, right? But if you like if you don't have a way to measure it, then you have to evaluate it some other way. Do you get
Okay,
what I mean?
okay.
Like there has to be a different way to evaluate it if the data is not like if we don't have the data. Otherwise, then the software would stay stuck forever. Because imagine like being able to go ahead and tell if your titles are better or not. Like, okay, so I'll tell you the conversation I had, and you know what? I'm gonna ask the guy to go ahead and join us for a call another time because
Mm,
he is the SEO king, right? And then so this is the conversation that we had,
mm.
right? And this is the and this and you're gonna be interested because he has and so this is another user I met, right? Who I came across because I was studying SEO, and he has a insider way of being able to measure the impressions on each keyword on eBay, right? The long tail keywords and the and the individual keywords. So he knows exactly how many times a specific keyword was searched on eBay. Do you get what I'm saying?
Okay.
So now that he has all this information, like I thought, hey, this is a powerful, right? So that means you're able to go ahead and craft the perfect title. He's like, no, not necessarily. I still have to go ahead and make 20 different titles and A/B test them all. You know what I mean? Even with the numbers, right? He has to go ahead and A/B test all these different combination of titles that's gonna go ahead and like improve the conversion. So the reason why I mentioned the story, right? This is somebody, and I'll get him on a call another time because I'm sure he'll be interested, and we can learn a lot from him. Actually, he's like
Mm.
beyond me on SEO. So the reason I mentioned this is because even he has to do A/B testing and cannot rely on the data specifically given by eBay, but he has to have a very strict control to be able to tell even with like the amount, knowing how many impressions a specific keyword gets,
Right,
right?
right.
Because eBay changes the listing position every 6 seconds. That's he has confirmed this for me. That means that every time you list an item, in 7 seconds it changes in the position. Like that's how fast the index on eBay. Do you
Okay.
get what I'm saying? So with that being said, there's so many different variables, right, that we wouldn't be know if like a specific thing is because the eBay algorithm favored us because of the timing of the listing. Maybe somebody clicked it and then it boosted it on the top of search. The only true way, in my opinion, that we would be able to go ahead and measure this is if we went ahead and posted like, let's say 100,000 items, right, without it, right? So that way we have like a whole spread of items, you know what I mean? And then we took another 100,000 items, ideally the same exact items, and we posted it with that. Do you get
Right,
what I mean?
right.
And then we compared it. At a minimum, I would say that would be
I mean,
the
that's
truest
your
way.
that's a perfect that's in a perfect world and a perfect A/B test.
Hey, I have 10 accounts now.
Right,
But I don't want to do it just for testing, man. You know, like I wouldn't like if somebody wants to go ahead, like if someone else has 10 accounts, right? They can go ahead and post 100,000, and then I don't even want to list the same 100,000 as them because it's just a waste of time and money.
right, right.
You know what I mean? So I wouldn't want to do that to be. I wouldn't want to prove the concept. Do you get what I mean?
Okay, okay, okay.
Because it's just too expensive of a lesson, right? I think like if we go ahead and employ ChatGPT, right? ChatGPT was trained on data that was like on repurposed all around the internet, right? So again, I do believe you're right. You know what? Mark is absolutely right in the fact that we should be making data-driven like decisions. But in this context, you know, like even the bestseller badge or like the image collages, we don't know if it would work. But then we like without the data. But what I can say is these key factors, right? Like this word differentiation, right? That in itself is a huge reason why like you need to change your images because if you're the same as everybody else's, you're not unique and then what's going to end up happening is the eBay algorithm is not going to show your item to everybody else if you have the same picture as everybody else. So that's the number one reason you need to have unique images. But the second one is, let's say you have 10 of the images that are all exactly the same. If you're unique, what's going to end up happening is you're going to be able to stand out from all of them and then the buyer can go ahead, they're going to go ahead and then pay a little more extra attention to you. So some of the reasons that ChatGPT says, it says that it gives you instant communication to the buyer. Buyers often make a quick decision based on visual information. If the main benefit is prominently displayed on the image, it can instantly communicate the key selling point, catching the buyer's attention and encouraging them to explore further. Clarity and transparency, clearly showing the main benefit on the image, adds transparency to the listings. Buyers appreciate knowing exactly what they're getting, and this can build trust in your product. These are 2 points that I agree with. Reduced effort for shoppers. Buyers may not want to read through the entire product description. Again, this is what we're talking about. Buyers do not read. And then we talked about differentiation. And then I asked ChatGPT to give me reasons why it wouldn't. One of the main things would be image clutter. Everything else doesn't really apply to us. But if the image does not look professional when we add the text, then it would hurt us.
Right,
Do you
right,
get them? Yeah. And I think we have a healthy medium. Like I would say like it's not the most professional, but it is like not the worst either. This feature will only get better and better as time goes on. You know what I mean? So image clutter, this is something that will like this problem will disappear one day. Readability issues, we don't have that. And I think that is I don't agree with this redundancy thing. I don't agree with this because I don't think people are reading the titles or description. But anyways, so I think we can move on from this. Give me your final thoughts before we move on to the SEO bit of the presentation.
No, no, it's an interesting ad. That's for sure. And the depend on the listing, it will definitely it should increase conversion. I mean, the goal is to increase click-through rate.
You know what? I like that what you just said, depending on the listing. If it's something like if a buyer is looking for absolute professionalism, like let's say you're selling like an iPhone or something like that, right? They're probably looking for like if or like let's say like a $3,000 like satellite or something. You know what I mean? They're probably looking for a very professional, clean look. But because we source items from anywhere from $0 to $50 or $100, I believe we don't, it's not the same level
Right.
of
It's not the
scrutiny.
same, it's not the same decision making.
Right, exactly. You know what? That was beautifully said. And I think let's leave it at that. It depends on the item. And you know what, Mark? You are Chat GPT, man. It says it right here. Ultimately, it will depend on the specific circumstances.
Right. Okay, okay, okay.
So, my guys, we have live evidence that Mark is a machine.
That's
This guy, ChatGPT trend on you, man. All right, man. Let's move on to the next one, yeah. So, so now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and talk about the SEO title, and you know what, I might go through this a little quickly, and then we can kind of wrap up the video, and then maybe we can talk about it again in another time, yeah.
okay.
So what this SEO title does is it will it should go ahead and allow you to go ahead and have titles that are more optimized to gain visibility. That's the main key here. And then I also made it so that it has an element of, increasing the perceived value of the item. So these SEO titles, right, are doing two things. The first thing is they're trying its best to go ahead and increase the visibility of the item. And secondly, it's using our algorithm to go ahead and increase the perceived value of the item. So, Mark, so far so clear on that aspect?
Yes.
So it's a combination of two things, right? So first one is perceived SEO to increase the visibility on eBay. Second one is to go ahead and increase the perceived value. So right over here, it says right over here, the search term on eBay. So the first thing is first, how do we go ahead and create a title that is SEO rich, right? First of all, we have to go ahead and identify what is this item, right? So we went ahead and asked ChatGPT, right? What is this item? And ChatGPT said that, hey, this is a microwavable baking grill. So, right, so it went ahead and searched microwavable baking grill onto eBay, right? And then it pulled up the first 20 listings because the first 20 listings are the top listings, right?
Right.
So so the understanding on how this works when it's going ahead and creating the titles is the way eBay works is if you post a new item onto eBay, right? It needs to eBay has to figure out where to go ahead and rank your item, right? And the way that they're gonna go ahead and rank your item is to see how similar your item is to the first 20 listings. And the reason why it's the first 20 listings is because the first 20 listings are the listings that are producing the most revenue for eBay. They're getting the most sales. So that means that any items, right, that are similar to the first 20 listings, right, they should have a higher chance of selling. So if I got a microwavable baking grill, but it was like, and then I put in the words like Panasonic TV, right? eBay has no idea that this variation is gonna sell, and they don't want to risk revenue on you, so they're gonna go ahead and put you all the way in the back of the search engine. So far, so clear on this?
Yeah.
So what our software is doing is it's going ahead and looking at the first 20 listings, and it's going ahead and getting all of the words from the first 20 listings, the titles. So once it does that, it goes ahead and puts it inside of inside of a table. And this is a term frequency table. So what this means is that the word bacon was the most frequent word in the first 20 listings. And then the word grill was the most frequent word. Then the word white, prep, solutions, microwavable, microwave, tray. These were all words that were the most frequent in the first 20 titles. So if we're using as many keywords over here that are relevant to us, to our item, then it stands to reason that eBay would go ahead and favor us as high as possible in the search results. The reason being is because it's going to be similar to the very first 20 listings. Does that make sense so far?
Right, right. Yeah, we talked about this. We talked about this.
Sure, but so many new viewers, right? So we gotta have to
Yeah,
I explain like the parts that wouldn't be like clear to somebody watching this for the first time. Because you know, me and you, we discussed this at length. But new people,
right. But
somebody else coming
what
into
we discussed previously was this TF-IDF thing.
right,
And
right,
this is what eBay uses that in their in the Kasimi search. But go ahead.
right. So basically, like the main concept to understand is eBay goes ahead and compares your title to the first 20 titles, and if it's similar to the titles, right, it's gonna go ahead and rank you higher because they know that those items are selling, and if you're using the same keywords as them, then chances are your item is gonna sell as well. That's how they go ahead and determine. So the first thing that we do is we pull up our software automatically pulls up all 20 of the like all the keywords in the first 20 titles, and then it goes ahead and asks ChatGPT, hey, what are the relevant keywords, right? And then we found that the most relevant keywords were one, bake and grill, white, prep, and these are the relevant keywords specifically to our listing. So these are the keywords: one, bake and grill, white, prep, solutions, microwavable, microwave tray, rack, cooker, cookware, pan, place lid, hot dog, sausage. So it went ahead and then filtered all of these words over here. You'll notice that the word international is not inside here because the word international is not relevant to our item. So
Right.
we went ahead and filtered out all of the words that are not relevant, and we kept the relevant words. And with the relevant keywords, we went ahead and created titles that include all of as many of the keyword rich and as many keyword as we can, with an element of um, increasing the perceived value. So we structure the title in a way that increases the perceived value at the same time keeping as many SEO keywords as possible. So you
Okay.
can see the word progressive is there, and if we go over it, you can see the term frequency score: solutions, microwavable, bacon, grill, white cookware with lid. So these titles are 104 characters long, but that's no problem. And the reason why I'll say that is because we can see in this demonstration, like everything that is highlighted in yellow is, you know, one of the words that was used by your competitors. Do you get
Mm-hmm.
what I mean?
Right.
So and we're using those keywords as well. And then you can visually see that now we're using data to go ahead and drive the titles. Previously, we were going ahead and just using pure copy, like we were using just copywriting to go
Right.
ahead and
Okay.
generate the
Okay. Okay.
titles.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, now
That's what
there
I
is
was
a
trying to get to. What's the difference? Previously was the titles were not being, there was no data being used.
exactly. There was no data being used. Now it's you can see that recessed handle, right? Nobody was searching for the word recessed. That was not in the first 20 listings. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The perfect title says the word easy, but the word easy was nowhere to be found.
Okay. 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 Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So now we have the word if like this, the word efficient wasn't there, but we kept the word efficient because that increases the perceived value. Do you
Okay.
get what I mean?
Right. So you would say that these listings would completely replace the previous type of listings we were using, or no?
No, this is another feature that we have. So it's called the SEO titles. So you can go ahead and generate SEO titles. And then inside of the bulk lister, right, we have a new feature called SEO list. So you can go ahead and click SEO list, and now you should get more visibility on your items. Do you get
Okay.
what I
Okay.
mean?
Okay. And the bulk lister list using the SEO list as well.
Exactly, exactly. So the main benefit would be that the SEO list would is a combination of SEO and increasing the perceived value. So that is like that's the marriage that we have. So it would probably be work really well for items that we price cheaper. But for conversion rate purely, right? The Opti list, in my opinion, would be the best because it is not focused on SEO at all. It's focused purely on copywriting, eliciting emotion. And then sometimes what happens with the Opti list is you find items that are like emotionally driven titles and just coincidentally they're very SEO rich keywords as well. Do you get what I mean?
Okay, okay.
Yeah, so the SEO list would work like would definitely work better with cheaper items, right? Because you don't have to really increase the perceived value.
Right,
But with the
right, right, exactly.
yeah, so if you have like if you're trying to like do lower margins, right, you'll get way more visibility, right? But the copy is not as strong. But I mean it's pretty strong. Like if we read it right over here, it says progressive prep solutions microwavable baking grill, white cookware with lid efficient microwave cooker. And then you can see the perfect title over here. It says easy microwavable baking grill, white cooks 4 to 6 strips, vented cover. So
Right,
I
and
think I
but the
go
perfect
ahead.
title is a bit more is more readable.
Right, like you're gonna get like variations and stuff,
Yeah,
but the main thing with the perfect SEO title, right, is that it goes ahead and picks like a very data driven title.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
this will definitely go ahead and increase visibility. Just because this has already been proven multiple times. Use the keywords that eBay provides you, and then like you will be shown higher.
Right,
Regarding
right,
conversion
exactly.
rate, that is a different conversation. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But we went ahead and still kept um, as much as we can inside this title. We went ahead and made the AI we tried our best to make sure that right there is a balance between SEO and increasing the perceived value. So that is the new feature. Now, give me your thoughts on it, yeah, and then we can kind of wrap it up.
No, I mean we talked about this. I mean, adding SEO to the titles would logically make more sense to
Lord, yeah, straight up. Me
drive
too, man.
more impressions.
Me too, man. I think everybody who's using Ecom Sniper now just honestly just use the SEO title builder. Like it took a long time to make this, and it's not like somewhere else where you don't know what's going on, why you're using why you're using this word. It's
And
very clear.
it does it list as fast as the previous listings or it takes more time?
No, it takes a little more time, but like, if you go to bed, it's not gonna make much of a difference.
Right. Okay, okay, okay,
You know
okay.
what I mean? You're still able to. It does use ChatGPT though, so you have to have your ChatGPT account logged in. And it has to stay connected because we're using ChatGPT, but it's inside the course. So everybody who's like already like part of eCom Sniper, they already watched the course. You get
So
what I mean?
guys, check out the new feature at eCom Sniper. Check out the new lister. It adds a lot more data to the listing process to generate more sales. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, if you want to jump on any of these calls while we add features, you're welcome as well. Anything else,
Yeah,
Sammy?
do it. No, I think that's it, man. Thanks for having me, man.
All right, thanks, brother.
All right, bro.